Welcome to my presentation on how we're going to implement a much more rigorous home program, patient engagement program, and bill it as RTM at Sensation Station. So many of you probably have never heard of this, and it's no surprise. RTM has only evolved in the last 2 or 3 years. It was released in 2021, mostly in Medicare and Medicaid. They allowed clinicians to bill it. And in 2023, codes were developed for outpatient, or around that time frame, they were finalizing the codes. And as of January 1st, 2024, private independent occupational therapists and physical therapy clinics can bill for it with certain insurances. Right now, I know that Blue Cross Blue Shield has payments tied to these codes, so that is the only insurance that we are going to bill. However, I will allow you to use the app and the carryover programs with any client that you see needs it, because I'm not limiting it to just reimbursable episodes. I feel that this is a very important aspect of our care. I think carryover is key, and I think it's something that we have struggled with throughout our careers as outpatient therapists. So regardless of whether it's paid for or not, we're going to do it. But I am making it mandatory that we bill RTM for clients who have Blue Cross Blue Shield, because it is our pilot case, and I am going to be monitoring really closely whether the codes are paid, whether we see a difference in therapy outcomes, and I can use them as a control group versus the other insurances. All right. So, PTOT and Speech's Guide to Remote Therapeutic Monitoring. I won't take credit for a lot of the material here. I got it from WebPT. WebPT owns Therabill. You are all familiar with Therabill because we use it for our EMR. We are not using their platform, which is called Keat, for the remote therapeutic monitoring. I did my diligence. I looked at different platforms. It just wasn't tuned towards pediatric OT. So I found another one that will work really well for us. So remote therapeutic monitoring is very useful in rehab clinics for helping with outcomes. It's another revenue source, and it helps us collect data. And I believe that it's going to help with patient engagement. I firmly believe those of you who have the highest productivity, you're in constant contact with those parents. Those parents that come every week are those ones that are constantly texting us or messaging us outside of their therapy sessions. Say what you will, it's a little bit more time consuming, but you all have to admit we have downtime in the clinic when we're not treating, but it gets results. It keeps us engaged. It keeps them wondering what they're going to do next week, and we get less no-shows, less cancellations, and better outcomes for our kids. So why am I even bringing RTM to the clinic, and why is it coming into healthcare? Well, here's the fact, guys. The fee-for-service model is really rendering private practices unprofitable. It's true. Costs are going up. Salaries are going up. You might not see it, but they actually have gone up since I opened my clinics, and even in the last 2 years. So payroll is increasing. Budgets are decreasing. We're capped. We only get paid the same amount from these insurance companies. They're not increasing their rates. Rents have increased. Electric costs have gone up. Cable is basically a car payment these days, cable and internet. I mean, I think you get the picture. We need to find other sources of revenue. And this is just one, by the way. I will be sharing with you other ideas of things that I think we need to do and keep viable, because we need to get ahead of the fact that, let's face it, insurance cannot be the end all. It's not going to be the only thing that sustains us. Another key component to improving our clients' health and keeping their costs down is not bringing them in 3 times a week for therapy, but doing something that we can try to give them therapy outside of our walls. And one of these is remote therapeutic monitoring. So again, those codes were introduced in 2022. 2023, they finalized them. And then in 2024, we got the go ahead to be able to bill them through, at least as far as I can do with my research. I know that Blue Cross Blue Shield has payable codes. So we'll see how that works. It's a new code, so there's going to be a learning curve for all of us. And you're going to have to get comfortable with using the app. And I'm going to have to get comfortable with monitoring the data and then billing it out. So RTM is a method of monitoring non-physiological data. So, of course, physical therapists can use it to look at the musculoskeletal system. But we're going to use it for adherence and therapy response. So when I say adherence, I mean adherence to our home programs, whether that's a sensory diet, a feeding program, an ADL program, or a speech carryover program. That's what we're going to use it for. Our parents are going to report that they carried over our activity on a daily basis. Then we will be connecting with them both in the clinic and outside the clinic with a phone call, which is a continuous follow-up, to see how it's working. So what are the codes? What is it that Audrey and I will be billing in the background? There are 6 codes. All have separate billing frequencies that can coincide with each other or separately. 98975 can only be billed once per episode of care. So basically, that means that the first time we run this app, I can bill this code. And that is really to set up the app. So all of you will be doing this in the next 2 weeks. It will be the very first visit that you see your client in the month of February. We'll be able to bill this code because you're going to put the goals into their app. Or at least I'm going to put the goals into their app. I'm going to set their emails up in the app. You're going to go over the app with them, and that will be the code. 98976, 98977, and 98978 can be billed once per 30 days. So these are our ongoing codes. Basically, you can bill 98980 once per calendar month for the first 20 minutes of care, regardless of how much modalities are performed in that calendar month. So basically, that's the one that is checking up and making sure that the client is doing what they're supposed to be doing. So 98980 and 98981 are meant to cover time spent monitoring the data. So every time I look in the app to see if they're doing it, I push out information to them. I'm allowed to bill those. But we need at least one synchronous communication session, like a phone call visit. It has to be outside of our therapy visit, okay? Text conversations don't count. So those texts that we push out, those don't count for the synchronous. The synchronous needs to be a phone call. So you'll all arrange some type of phone call, or if you don't have the time, I will be doing it for you. But yes, we will have a synchronous call outside of our weekly visit at least once a month to go over the home program and see how things are going. So I really do believe that this can improve patient outcomes and really help them engage and stay connected to us between sessions, which I think is just going to help our attendance alone. I think it creates a method for us to reinforce what we've been trying to achieve in person for a long time. And the way it's going to work for our families is there is a behavior modification piece built in to the app I'm going to show you, because the children get 100 points every time either they or their parent clicks "I did it" in the app, which is the data that we need in order to know that A, they're doing it, and B, that we can bill for it. But we need data to support our billing. So that's key. They need to click in the app that they did it. In order to get them to click in the app gives them a confetti congratulations and assigns them 100 points. Our children can turn in the points at the end of the month to purchase I'm doing air quotes here, prize. We can have a whole set of prizes. One of the kids asked me yesterday, where's Sensation Station's store? And I said, well, it's like Amazon. It's in the cloud. And we can create kind of a cloud-based store where they can go in and even look at what possible items they can buy, and they can dream about them and work towards them. And that'll get them to do it. And then their parents will be motivated to do it because the kids will want to do it. You see, it's a nice duality there. So how can we use this? Change, first of all, I get is difficult. So I'm implementing a whole new thing here, asking you guys to do something else. And I get it. There's going to be a little bit of hiccups along the way. But I do believe that we all have our clients' best interests, and we do want to see the clinics thrive. So this is another revenue source. It's also about patient engagement. It's also about good carryover. It's about good client outcomes. So I think it's a win-win on all fronts. All right, so it's no secret that the front office staff, Audrey, back office staff, me, Adam, we can get overwhelmed trying to add all this stuff in. So we have a plan for how we're going to manage this. I do have a couple of people that are going to be tied to helping me monitor the data. I think this is going to be really awesome to fill in scheduling gaps. I know that there's a lot of downtime. I know that our attendance has been between 68 and 75%. And we really want to continue to get that up to 80, 90%. Even at 80 or 90%, there's still about, in a full-time schedule, there's about 13 to 14 hours a week of downtime. 14. It doesn't take 14 hours to document our work. So this is something that can help fill that gap. And cancellations and no-shows are the bane of our existence, right? So I'm hoping this will help us, especially when we are doing that interactive communication, which is that 98980 and 98981 code. And we're just going to have a system to make sure that you document when you did it, and we'll have to figure that out. And I will have that all ironed out when we roll this app out next week, so that we're billing ethically, correctly, because I never want to bill code that we didn't do. So what devices can be used? Well, there are a ton of them out there, but we're going to use the AC Health app. It is approved for RTM, and I'm going to share with you what it looks like. There'll be 3 channels. 1 channel for Franklin, 1 channel for Guildford, and 1 channel for Warwick. Unfortunately, my name will be the only one that goes out when you push out the messages. It'll all say Randall Fedoric on it. You'll be able to write within the message, hey, it's Julie, hey, it's Brittany, hey, this is Kim, but anything that goes out from the app is going to default to me because I'm the owner of the app in the clinic. However, you will all have access to the channel. You'll use my email as a login, and you'll all have the password so that you can go into the app. You'll have access to the library, and you will be able to customize and individualize the sensory diets, carryover programs, speech home programs, feeding programs, whatever you're putting into the app for them to do between the sessions. You will be responsible for updating that and going over it with them. What I will do on my end is make sure that everyone is enrolled in the app. I will monitor the data. Hopefully you will also monitor the data, so you'll be looking every day to see that your clients are engaged. You'll be pushing messages out to them when they're not engaged, or just for the sake of it, and because it's good and it's kind of fun. I think it's fun. It's like Snapchat for therapy. And together as a team, we'll get those 16, we need 16 days of carryover documented in order to bill a set of codes. And also, if we're really going to see any results, we need them to use it. Otherwise, it's just a waste of everyone's time. So I will upload the clients, as I said. You'll set up the app, meaning the content in the app, and review it with the family and explain how they're to utilize it. You'll monitor compliance and send messages to motivate. I will monitor compliance and send messages to motivate you, to motivate them. So, and then I will bill if we meet the standards for billing, which is you need to do that 20-minute continuous phone call with them outside of your therapy session. And I need to make sure that they have 16 days of carryover documented in the app. All Blue Cross Blue Shield Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Anthem clients need to use the app. I'm not even questioning it. They all could use a home program. Maybe not a sensory diet, but there is something that you can give them to do in between sessions, and all those clients must be part of this pilot program. Feel free to ask me about adding any other client with a different insurance at any time. I do not want to exclude clients who have United or Harvard Pilgrim or Tufts or NHP. They are welcome to also use the app. We just will not be monitoring and billing for them at this time. We'll roll them in later once we get a handle on the Blue Cross and whether it works or not. All right, let's see the app. I'm going to give you the login credentials and basically the login name and the password through the Connect app so that you all have it and you can store it in somewhere because you're going to need to use it frequently. But right now, I really want to show you what this app looks like. So let's take a look. I'm going to screenshot my phone over here. So let's take a look at that. All right. So now this is my phone and we can take a look. So what you'll have to do is download the app into your phone. It's this one in the top right hand corner. It says AC. Okay. So there we go. It's AC Health. The login is fedoric.sensationstation@gmail.com. Right now I have a temporary password, which we are going to change. So don't worry about that. And now once we log in, you're going to see the different channels. Now, you're not going to create a channel. Please do not create any channels. By the way, you can log in on your computer as well. So if you find it easier to create your home programs on your desktop or your laptop, please do so. I'm just showing you what the app works like in the moment. So you'll be able to like search resources and things like that. See, from here. These are resources, by the way, that come with the app. We have a custom library, so I don't really love those resources. What we have is much more custom. So I've only set up clients in Franklin and I've been piloting it. So let's go to the channel Franklin. As you see, all the clients in Franklin are going to be there. So not just yours, everyone is going to show up. So these are the ones that I've set up so far. And I want to show you the one that has just been amazing at doing carryover so far, and that's this one here. And as you can see, this is what I put together for him for his home program. I pushed out the zones of regulation poster and I asked his family to use the poster to reinforce naming what zone your child is in daily. I put a handout on heavy work activities and I basically asked them to choose 1 or 2 heavy activities every day as when he gets home from school. And then what I had is this sensory, basically indoor exercise cards. And I said, choose 3 exercises from the deck of cards to complete daily. As you noted in my previous presentation, you can be more prescriptive and say when you want them to do the exercises as well. It is customizable. You can give your directions and tell them what you want to do. But as you can see, there are several that he can pick from. I chose the ones that I thought would be organizing. So there's some movement, just some static body work. They can download and print them. And basically when they're done, what they do is they log in whether they did it or not. And this is where I can see the data. I can't show you what it looks like on their side because I'm only able to show you what's on our side. On their side, there's a button after each of those pictures, at the end of those pictures that says, I did it. They submit it, confetti blows up, and it assigns them their points. This is his compliance. And I can see that he did all 3 activities on the 18th, the 19th, The 20th, he didn't do any. On the 21st, he did it. The 22nd, the 23rd, and yesterday he did not because he was with me. And today, we're just in today. Now, just to show you the library, because I can add things to his routine and how easy it is, and I'm not, actually, I won't do in his because his is good and I don't want to wreck a good thing. So I just wanted to show you that you can see what he's been doing. You can also see that his mom has been messaging me as well. So I messaged welcome to his sensory diet. I did a little video. This is a Snapchat I did for him to explain to his mom. Oops. You know, I don't know if the sound is going to work, but it's just me and him talking about his diet so that his mom knows what we set up and what they need to do. And I sent that message out from his session. So you are able to receive messages, send messages. When you want to send a message, you just click this little plus button. You can add a photo to your message if you want to find a little cute little meme. You can send that to the parent to motivate. If you want to take a video of yourself, you can take a video. See? So it's like a Snapchat. I kind of like that version. It saves me from having to type to text. So I'll do a little video and say, hey there, keep on going. I noticed you didn't do your exercises yesterday. Send. Okay. Or, hey, this is so-and-so from the clinic. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Nice reminder that they have an appointment. There are ways that I can actually, there are just canned messages as well. Last minute appointment opportunity. So if you have a last minute opportunity for them to pop in, you can put that in. We can make a custom message where all you do is it's an appointment reminder. If you have someone that particularly forgets to come and you don't feel like typing it all the time, I can create a custom one that's like, don't forget your appointment this week. Click. Again, it's all about patient engagement. Let me just show you the library again so you can see. You can search the library too with a word as well. So if you go here in this part, you can search by name, and if you click in zones, the zones poster comes up. I have to be honest, it's actually easier to use your laptop to load things in the library. There are tons of stuff in the library that I've already put. So I strongly suggest that you check out the, it's just AC Health. When you put that in on Google, it'll come up. You then get to a page that they have their pricing and stuff and like that. Actually, I'm going to show you. Why not? So what I'm going to do right now is just show you what the app looks like.